About to get underway from the Atlanta Motor Speedway. Maybe not the Atlanta that you recognize. It's the old Atlanta Motor Speedway, the old configuration, the first of two visits to the 1.5 mile D Oval. And pace car peels off. Nick Pressey starting the race on the front row. Toby Estes on his outside. Green flag is out and we're racing. Pressey leading with Toby Estes behind him, off to a strong start at Atlanta. Estes sitting in second. Seth Wansing already a second off the pace with Matt Kent behind him. Donald Ray in the middle and Briley Wright shaking it loose out of turn number 2. It's a quick start here at Atlanta. Already 2 and almost 3 wide as they go down the back. Christian Withers in the Newport 69. Coming up behind younger brother Tommy Ryan Lindemann in the Ricky Rudd Ford. He grabs a lot of wall out of that fourth corner. Toby Estes jumps to the lead 3 laps into this 133 lap event. 8:94. And the other Bluegrass Bandit, 2 of the 3 sitting in the top 3. That's Briley Wright in the 2.9. Super quick start at Atlanta, with Donald Ray already side by side with Matthew Kent. And 2 Texans nose to tail. Kent in the 31. Ray in the 5. Justin Shoup, the Rockingham winner. He sits in the 91 just ahead of Ryan Pennell. Donald Ray still has the Rockingham winner Justin Shoup on his outside, despite Ryan Lindemann going high, wide, and handsome in turn number 3. He seems to have sorted himself out. He just went green, as did Elrich George and John Honeybrink in the 2.0 Nvidia Chevrolet. That thing looks awesome. Sitting out in the 16th spot, all the way up to 4th, though, we've got Matt Kent. Looks like Donald Ray just falling off the mark a little bit now with Ryan Pennell behind him. Pennell sits out in the 8th position right now with Jacob Prince sitting behind him. The rookie who won this season at the first race of the season at the Nashville Fairgrounds in the 9 Coors Chevrolet. He's on the inside now. So far, so good, except for one driver, and I think that's Tommy Withers or Christian Withers. One of the 2 got into the wall, and it's definitely the 6'9". He's really hanging it out. George in the 40 gets right up behind the 69 Newport Dodge. Withers up into the wall almost again and just struggling to hold on to it now. And Withers is going to come down into the pits there on the right side of your screen. So Christian Withers in the 69, he's going to come down, try and get that race car repaired. At the front, Toby Estes leading Seth Wansing by 1 second, and then Briley Wright sits half a second behind them. Donald Ray is on the move, however. The Texan in that number 5, he's just ahead of this gaggle of race cars back here. 9 laps complete. Looking at the point standings for something that definitely is not TNT. That happens to be the point standings going into the final round of the Mazda MX-5 Cup. So let's go ahead and get that fixed. There we go. That looks a little bit more appropriate coming into this race. Noah Belleville leading the points, not in this race tonight. And you got to wonder just what went on, considering Belleville said this is going to be his full-time season. So now you think, is it really his full-time season? Is he just taking a week off? But the points are going to get shaken up big time tonight, because Noah Belleville only comes into this race leading by, is it 17 points? So Justin Shoup, with one win this season, he's next in line to take over that points lead, depending on how well he runs today. And Brooklyn's Nick Pressey sits just ahead of the Virginian driver. Tommy Withers and Tristan Catania swapping spots, 48 and the 6th side by side. '91 and the 94, left and right into turn number 1. I think Donald Ray is just waiting for one of these guys to make a mistake, and the cars just go belly up here. We're going to find out real quick. Ray now getting up behind that 91 of Justin Shoup. And the double 9 of Jacob Prince. He says, I want to play too. Cody Riggs coming up behind the number 4 of Connor Cordes, and one of 2 drivers from Kansas City tonight rocking that number 4 machine. And the Taco Bell Chevrolet has Cody Riggs just behind him. Looking at the other driver here, Seth Wansing in that number 9 Ford Taurus, now sitting down that back straight. He's the other driver from Kansas City, Missouri, as Tristan Bailey comes out to say hi. How you doing, Tristan? And you know what? Shout out Tristan, because I saw that he had hit me up here on Discord earlier. I just hadn't clicked the button yet. So hang on just one second here. Let me go ahead and put that. I saw the notification as I was working earlier today, and I'm like, he sent your friend request. I'm like, oh, all right, that's nice. I just never actually looked at the notification. So that reminds me, Tristan, that we got to, there we go, taken care of. 15 laps into this race, Seth Wansing, only 0.7 of a second now behind Toby Estes. There's the number 8 Budweiser Chevrolet. There is the number 9 Quality Care Ford. So these two, they're still in a little bit of a drag race, but over the last 5 laps, you see Seth Wansing just starting to chip away at Toby Estes' lead, and this is what that lead looks like from car number 8. Justin Shoup in the middle of this 6th place battle. He's got Nick Pressey just ahead. Looks like the Chevrolets of Matt Kent and Briley Wright are up there too. Further on back, Jacob Prince wants a piece of this one. Ryan Pinnell at his home track. And the number 2. The number 2 of Thomas Andrews. Coming up behind the 1-2 of Ryan Pinnell. Couple of Penske numbered machines front to back. The 1-2 in 9th, the 2 in the 10th position. Almost tripping over my own words. Elridge George up 3 places from where he started, and it looks like Massachusetts' Tom Sears just off the pace there. What happened to the 1-4? Did he hasn't come down into the pits. He just looks like he's off the pace. He's been off the pace for a while here. How long has Tom Sears been sitting there? But still on the lead lap for now. Ryan Lindemann in the 5-1. 2 seconds behind Elrich George, running 16th. And now we've got a little train going, nose to tail here. Catania, Honeybrink, and George. Christian Withers finally coming out of the pits after getting that race car repaired, and the Newport Dodge comes back out to play. At the front, the lead gets tighter. Toby Estes sees, who's that in the wall? That's Donald Ray that's in the wall. The Texan coming down right ahead of Jacob Prince. Super loose into turn number 1, but he's holding on to her so far. Bounces off of that apron. Ryan Pinnell comes to his outside, and he's held on to it so far, on board with the Texan. Donald Ray says, I've had enough. I'm coming down into the pits, and coming down into the pits he shall. So the number 5 comes down for tires, fuels, anything else he can get his hands on. Maybe try and just repair that race car. And I'm willing to bet the track facts haven't been updated either. And no, they haven't, because this is the kind of world-class broadcasting that you can expect on Thursday Night Thunder here. So let's update those as well. 35 to 40 laps, the expected pit time for these drivers. Donald Ray looks like he might just be starting that trend a little bit early. Looking at Toby Estes, who's leading this race. He's going to put Donald Ray a lap off the pace, but we're 22 laps into this one here, so you've got to think just when do the pit stops start? And with these guys getting closer and closer still, you gotta think that the tires have, the magic is gone on these tires, so it could be a game of chicken. Five winners in the last 5 races. Toby Estes wants to make it 6 winners in 6. Matthew Kent, he hasn't won a Thursday Night Thunder race yet. Maybe today could be his day. Brooklyn's Nick Pressey now coming up behind that 3-1. And then the Coors cars side by side. Jacob Prince and Justin Shoup going to do a little bit of drafting together. Grandma Jeannie asking, where, oh, where is Noah Belleville? Grandma Jeannie, he's not in the roster. Belleville not showing up tonight. Let's have another flash at those Thursday Night Thunder points. Noah Belleville comes into this race leading the points. He's on top, but he won't be when this race concludes, and we're going to see just who takes that top spot from him. John Honeybrink gets sideways on into the pits, and he's going to nose the wall there. He's going to have to back it up and get that thing moving again, but the 2-0 car just bringing it in a little bit hot. Seth Wansing, he wants to get to the top spot there, but again, Briley Wright now coming up behind both of these guys. Further on back, Elrich George keeps climbing positions as he gets really loose out of turn number 4. 2 wheels in the grass, loose on the front straight again. Here comes Withers, Ray, and Lindemann all on the outside. Withers is in the wall. There goes Ray. Lindemann gets into him, and the caution surely must come out. We'll see if it flies. Donald Ray gets into the wall. He's been crunched by Ryan Lindemann. Christian Withers also gets into him, and the yellow flag does come out. 3-car pileup in turn number 1, and it stems from Elrich George getting loose out of turn number 4. Have a look. Now have a look here. George just gets really loose out of turn number 4. Everyone's going to try to avoid him. Ryan Lindemann just gets into the back of Donald Ray after he gets into the back of Christian Withers. And have another look. Watch how Rich George get loose. And then go on board here with Christian Withers. Donald Ray just narrowly avoids him. Let's go on board with the 5. With Ryan Lindemann. And Elridge George sitting in 15th, so the caution is out. Caution number 1 in today's race. Toby Estes still retains the lead. Briley Wright in the 2nd position. And we might have had a few drivers that got trapped a lap down. We'll see, but we're going to get these guys rolling back again. We're going to take a short break, just a short little 2-minute break, and we'll be back, and we hope you will as well. Grab a drink, grab a snack. We're going to have a lot more fun. We'll be back in 2 minutes with more TNT. Ready to go racing once again with this time 2 Bluegrass Bandits on the front row. Briley Wright and Toby Estes side by side getting ready to lead this pack back down to the line. Matt Kent in the 31 behind him. Seth Wansing starting in the 2nd position on the outside. 132. No, 33. Is it 133? No, 103. I can't do math. Green flag is out at Atlanta. 100-some laps to go. And now we're racing again. Let's go. Briley Wright running in the second position behind his Bluegrass Bandit teammate Toby Estes, leading this race in the number 8 Budweiser Chevrolet. Estes from Greensburg, Kentucky. Briley Wright, who just went purple with 30.09 seconds, also from Greensburg, Kentucky. Cody Riggs, also from Greensburg, Kentucky, now running in the 11th position, part of those Bluegrass Bandits, and doing a great job so far. Riggs on the outside in that number 3. He's got Virginian Tommy Withers behind him. And Cody Riggs winning at Daytona earlier this season. And you want to talk about a popular Thursday Night Thunder win. That was probably one of the most celebrated wins I'd ever seen. And so good to see Cody Riggs get on the board. He's one of 5 drivers in 5 races to win a race this season. And today, maybe we'll go 6 in 6. Not if Briley Wright has his say, though. The 2-9 now coming up on the outside of that 8. And when I say these guys are neighbors, they probably live closer than most iRacers, if not. They got to have some of the closest geographical separation, or lack thereof, that you'll find in iRacing. And they're not very geographically separated on the racetrack right now. 2 Chevrolets side by side, down the straight, inside of the final 100. Still side by side down the back straight, and they don't relent. And here comes the cavalry. Thomas Andrews in the number 2. He comes to the inside of Cody Riggs in that 3 car. Andrews in the 2, Riggs in the 3, Withers in the 6. If you just tuned in, you have not missed a thing. Just one caution coming out on lap 25. Donald Ray, Ryan Lindemann going around. Racing Ricky in the house says he's looking for another great race tonight, cheering on for his boy Justin Shoup in that number 91 Coors Chevrolet. Cody Riggs just to his outside in the 3. And the race for the lead still close, but these guys are trying to run away with it. Briley Wright first, Toby Estes second, Nick Pressey in third, and Matt Kent now wants to get to the left-hand side of the Brooklyn Pilot. 4 Chevrolets in the top 5. Everybody just nose to tail, nice and neat. Tristan Catania getting a bit more neat than most people, coming up behind Ryan Lindemann. The number 48 Pilot running in 15th right now, wants a piece of Lindemann, who's sitting in 14th. And Briley Wright, his lead shrinks ever still. Toby Estes just behind him, and again, drivers coming down approximately on lap 27, but the Drip Diecast and Collectibles track facts will tell you they can go further than that. Approximately 35 to 40 laps on 1 tank of fuel. We'll see just how far they make it. Jacob Prince wants to win another race this season. He's up to the inside of Cody Riggs. These 2 Chevrolets side by side, and Justin Shoup in the other Coors car. He runs on the brink of the top 10. Shoup in the 91. he runs in that 10th spot. Cody Riggs get really loose ahead of him in that number 3. He's up behind Prince in the double 9. Nick Pressey on the outside, Matt Kent running that inside line. These two still dueling for third, and it looks like this time Matt Kent finally has the run he needs. Pressey blocks. Pennell and Wansing now going to do battle. Pennell in the 12, Wansing in the 9. This is the battle for 5th. Big shake out of the 2-9. Here comes the fight for the lead. Toby Estes goes right to the inside, and he takes the top spot in the number 8. Let's have another look. Toby just getting around Briley, but Briley just got really loose out of the corner, and Toby had an excellent run. An amazing run, and all the while this is going on, Cody Riggs and Justin Shoup trying to get around each other. Looks like Tom Sears is in the wall, and the Massachusetts pilot has a problem. The Western Mass Mechanical Contractors Supra in big trouble. He's shaking up the racetrack. Here comes the 20 and the 40. Sears in the wall again. Honeybrink just avoids him. Sears keeps on tagging the wall. Trying to survive, trying to wait until that next caution. But how much time does he have? Another tag. Sears just shaking it, just trying to find the field. Will he come into the pits? And he will. The number 4 decides it's finally his time, but he gives it a big spin out of harm's way. And the number 4 of Tom Sears just gives it a shake. Racing Ricky says, nice graphics. I can finally read them. And yeah, I think I made them a little bigger this time, Ricky. I think I just made the names a little bit larger so you can read those, and then same goes for this one over here. Just a bit larger here so you can actually read what's going on. I never watch my broadcast, so I have no idea what goes on when, if I don't notice it. I finally watched one back, and I'm sitting there looking down the bridge of my nose with my glasses ahead of me trying to read them like an 80-year-old man, and I'm thinking, my God, is this what people see when, when we're doing a race? And I'm like, nobody can read this. So yeah, we got to fix that. I'm glad we can make that better for you. How about this for better racing as well? The 2 and the 3 side by side still. The season 4 champion Thomas Andrews shakes it high. Here comes one of the Bluegrass Bandits, Cody Riggs, to his inside. Andrews in the 2, currently running in the 9th position up front. Toby Estes now gives way to Matthew Kent. Well, I'm sorry, Briley Wright gives way to Matthew Kent. Toby Estes is leading by a second. Briley Wright in the 2-9, coming up behind that 3-1 Budweiser Chevrolet. Nick Pressey running in the 4th position, and behind them, the rest. Seth Wansing in the number 9 shakes it loose out of turn number 4, and the Coors cars behind him. Prince in the double 9. Here comes Shoup in the 91, and Seth Wansing is the meat in the Coors sandwich. Here comes Ryan Pennell. Denton the 3-1 now fighting for the second position as Briley Wright gets into the wall. Last week's Darlington winner now has to rebound coming off of turn number 2, and they're chasing this guy right here, Toby Estes from Greensburg, Kentucky. He wants to score the win. He comes into this race 5th in the points with an average finish of 6th. And he's led a couple times this season, but hasn't yet been able to seal the victory. And maybe today could be the day. Inside the final 80 laps. Drivers haven't pitted since lap 27. We're now sitting on lap 54. So we're nearing that green flag pit window. And Racing Ricky telling his boy it's a long race. You got to be there at the end. Justin Shoup in that number 91. Now sits ahead of Seth Wansing in the 9 and one of 2 drivers from Kansas City in tonight's race. Connor Cordes being the other in the number 4. He now just pitted on lap 51, so all eyes are on the time for car number 4. Let's go on board with the Taco Bell Chevy. There's your lead driver, Toby Estes, in the number 8. Matt Kent behind him by 1.4 seconds with green flag pit stops on the way. Here comes Jacob Prince. The South Carolinian now wants to get around the Texas A&M pitcher who decides that's enough. I'm coming down into the pits, and Prince is coming with him. What an attack by Jacob Prince, who gets right on the brakes coming in. And did he make it down to 55 miles an hour? Watch this for a pass. On the outside, Jacob Prince knows he's coming into the pits. He gets right around Matt Kent, and that is attacking pit lane. But now the question is, does he get a penalty? We'll see the South Carolinian. We'll see if he just halts there, or no, he's down, he's away. So we'll see if he gets any sort of penalty for speeding. Toby Estes puts him a lap down. Briley Wright, 2 seconds off of one of those Bluegrass Bandits. Seth Wansing in 3rd, Ryan Pennell in 4th. And Seth Wansing decides he's going to come in as well, so Toby Estes continues to hang on to that lead. Thomas Andrews running in the 4th position. When's the last time he won a race? I think it very well may have been season 4 when he... No, he did win. He won 1 race in season 4. That was the inaugural Thursday Night Thunder season on iRacing. Came home with a victory. I actually think it was at Atlanta. No, he won the championship. Toby Estes won Atlanta in season 4. I couldn't tell you what race he won. It may have been the season opener at Rockingham, I'm not sure, but anyway, I'm rambling. He ended up becoming the champion that season. Now the leaders have decided they're going to come down into the pits. Toby Estes and Briley Wright now coming down. So that's going to hand the race lead to Georgia's very own Ryan Pennell. And Pennell decides he's going to come in as well, and the native Georgian decides it's his time to come through. And Pennell now giving way to Nick Pressey, who is... Well, he pitted on lap 55, so we'll see just where he comes out here. Pennell's down, so is Cody Riggs. Here comes Christian Withers. He's rolling back through the pits. Brooklyn's Nick Pressey moving at an insane clip now. We'll see what he puts across the line. Last time around, it was 30.15. This time for Pressey, 30.44. He is your new leader at Atlanta. So the lead between Jacob Prince and Ryan Pennell, who just came down into the pits, about 12 seconds. Looking at Jacob Prince, he's only 4.5 seconds off of race leader Nick Pressey. Toby Estes just went green. 29.99, his best lap this race. Pressey still holding the fastest lap of all, 29.92. And they can't make it to the end just yet. We're approaching 70 laps to go. If you just tuned in, you have not missed a thing. Well, you missed one caution, but that's not much, right? Let's go back to the first yellow of the race. Green flag pit stops just finishing up now. And Donald Ray getting into the back of Christian Withers. Didn't know he was there. Ryan Lindemann gets into Donald Ray. They go for a ride. And that brings out the one and only caution of the race thus far. Green flag pit stops cycling through. Pressey is your race leader. Looking at Thomas Andrews here running in the 15th position. He's up behind Tristan Catania. He last pitted on lap 60. Thomas Andrews is on the tail end of the lead lap. But now they've got to run away from this guy here, Nick Pressey, who's going to look to put them a lap down. Pressey puts Tom Sears a lap down, and if the caution comes out, the Massachusetts pilot will be the lucky dog. He's going to get his lap back. And shout out to Hudgens Hammer, who followed a couple hours ago as well. Welcome to Rick James TV. Appreciate you. Matt Kent sitting in third. Toby Estes in second, 3 seconds off of Nick Pressey. And over the last 5 laps, that's been the gap. And it's shrinking. Last time around, Toby Estes gaining almost 1 second on Nick Pressey. And we'll see what the clock says this time around. Six-tenths of a second, as near as makes no difference, and Estes is just eating the time alive here. So Pressey's got a lot to work for. A lot of work to do here if he intends on keeping this lead, but still, if it stays green, drivers have to come down at least one more time. These drivers making it about 35 laps on that last green flag run, and the track is only getting quicker as it gets cooler. More rubber's being laid into the track, so we'll see just how far they make it this time around. Looking at Tristan Catania and Thomas Andrews, they're still fighting it out for 14th. Kind of scenic, ain't it? Even for sim racing, I think it's pretty scenic. I absolutely love the way that this looks here. Catania still diligently following Andrews. Further up ahead, Ryan Pennell and Connor Cordes are going to go to battle. Pennell, the Georgian, in the 12. Cordes, the rookie from Missouri, he's in the 4. See just how far this one goes. At the front, here comes the race for the lead. Brooklyn's Nick Pressey against Greensburg's Toby Estes. 94 to the top side. 8 goes down to the middle, and very easily Toby Estes becomes your new leader at Atlanta. Christian Withers in the distance, not fighting for this race lead. Withers running 10 laps off the pace in 19th. Ryan Pennell from Gumlog, Georgia. Yeah, Gumlog, Georgia. In that 1-2. Up in front of Connor Cordes by a second. Further on back, Elrich, George, and Cody. Riggs now side by side. Riggs, one of those Bluegrass Bandits. Running in lucky number 13th position. He's getting loose off the corner. Is he going to make it? And Riggs makes it. There's your race leader, Toby Estes. Behind him, Nick Pressey. And then there's third place, Matthew Kent. There's the 31. He's got the double 9 of Jacob Prince behind him. And the South Carolinian wants another taste of the podium. He wants a closer taste of that top spot. Again, points leader Noah Belleville not present in tonight's race. He's going to take a big hit in those points. Prince to the inside of Kent. And remember, Jacob Prince had the most masterful move getting around Matt Kent. He just, pure speed, just took him on the outside, beat him down into the pits. It's moves like that that are going to keep Jacob Prince elevated in this race. He's up 14 places from where he started. Unbelievable job tonight. And Tristan Catania, he wants a piece of Thomas Andrews. He's right there. John Honeybrink in that NVIDIA 2-0. Driving a brilliant race thus far. He's kept that car clean for the most part. Except for one little mishap where he came down into the pits and wrecked the car a little bit. But he's running in 16th and he's doing his thing. First car, one lap down, so he'll get the lucky dog if the caution comes out. These two getting closer, and over the last 5 laps, as I absolutely just put my elbow on my phone. Sorry about that. Over the last 5 laps, Briley Wright just getting closer. And both of them chasing down the 31 of Matt Kent. So Kent, while he's trying to just make up a little more time in the 31, he sees the competition coming. Toby Estes running away with the race lead for now. Nick Pressey almost 3 seconds behind him. And Toby just putting the competition to the sword for now. Estes out front, but again, green flag pit stops on the way. Conor Cordes on the outside of Tommy Withers. Drivers able to go approximately 35 laps on a green flag run. They last pitted between laps 55 and 60. Quick math will tell you drivers will be pitting here from what, laps 90 to 95, I think. And even then, from lap 90 to 95, they have to make it to 133. If it goes green all the way to the end, these drivers could find themselves in a little bit of trouble. Donald Ray running in the 18th position, 5 laps off the pace. He started this race beautifully with car number 5. Now just falling a little bit behind. And he's got a scratched up Kellogg Chevrolet as well. We never figured out what paint scheme this raced in, or where we saw this paint scheme on the NASCAR circuit. I want to say it was probably Texas, but I just don't know. If somebody's watching and you know where Terry Labonte drove this paint scheme, give us a shout out in the chat. Let us know where he drove this, because I'm really curious to find out. Toby Estes still out front. Jacob Prince up 15 places from where he started. He has passed Nick Pressey, and over the last 5 laps, Prince, he's been almost consistently quicker than Toby Estes. This time around, the clock says Prince not quicker than Estes. So Toby putting his foot down a little bit, maybe just trying to expand the gap, play the game of, the hair a little bit, trying to force a mistake out of Jacob Prince. You just saw a big slide out of car 99. And these two getting closer still. Justin Shoup and Jacob Prince have both won a race this season. Jacob Prince is in. Here comes Prince. He's on his way in. Nick Pressey is in. Justin Shoup also decides he's going to try and come into the pits. Gets a little squirrely, but green flag pit stops now underway. How do you like that? Couple more takers. Ryan Lindemann, Connor Cordes, they all decide they're going to come in. Donald Ray also going to take part. Toby Estes, still your race leader to the inside of John Honeybrink. .52 laps to go. Briley Wright in second. Matt Kent decides he's going to come in, and Seth Wansing will take over third. So the 3-1. Tires, fuel, all the rest, anything else he can get his hands on. Estes in the 8 sits ahead of Briley Wright. And there's Seth Wansing rolling in third. But what tricks can they pull now? At this point, you're going to have to use pit strategy. If you're not up towards the front, then you won't be without the advantage of pit strategy, or you're going to have to get really lucky on the cycle. Here comes Seth Wansing. He's going to try and make it into the pits. And he brings it down to 55 miles an hour. Estes, still your leader. Jacob Prince now moving at speed. Remember, he was hot on Estes' heels right before he decided to come in. So now we want to see what the time says for South Carolina's Prince. Kentucky and Virginia on the podium right now. Tommy Withers hasn't pitted since lap 60. We can expect him to come down within the next 6 to 10 laps. 30:55 as Jacob Prince crosses the line. 30.5 seconds. Toby Estes, 31.98. So Prince currently moving faster than the leader by 1.5 seconds right before the green flag cycle. Matt Kent, he gets around Seth Wansing for position. Kent is in 12th. Thomas Andrews just gets around Cody Riggs. That's for the 6th spot. And the New Jersey pilot gets around one of those Bluegrass Bandits, but can he make it stick? Justin Shoup crosses the line with 30.54 seconds on the clock. His personal best of the race. And we're inside the final 50 laps now. Pressey in the 94, Shoup in that 91. These two now going to fight side by side. Again, Prince on the fresh tires. Pressey, well, no, Pressey's also on fresh tires. Okay, they both pitted on lap 80. So it's 53 laps to the end. It's still a 1 pit stop finish. Shoup in the 91 just gets around Brooklyn's Pressey in the 94. Matt Kent coming up behind them, the pitcher from A&M. He's got fresh tires on, and last time around, 30.38 seconds for the Texas A&M pitcher. And the race leader, Toby Estes, 32.08, almost 2 seconds slower than the competition. And he still won't come down into the pits. It's going to be a really interesting cycle because no matter what, it's going to be a one-stop race. Toby potentially shaping up to go, what? Well, if he gets a lucky caution, he may not have to come down for fuel again, but the tires are going to be what's important. He's going to need something. He's going to need some sort of grip on the racetrack. So Estes, I think, just going as far as he can on this stint. Just trying to maximize the speed on the way out. Maybe, I don't know. I really don't know. We're approaching 44 laps to go. Toby Estes with a lot of work to do if he still wants to make this race his. And Jacob Prince was catching him, but at the speed of light, man. Last time around, 30.75 seconds. Toby Estes, 32.27, and here comes Prince to unlap himself, and watch the difference between these two. Race leader Toby Estes, Jacob Prince behind him, and this is the difference fresh tires can make for you. And that's it for Toby Estes. He's going to downshift and come down into the pits. Speed in the bottom right. When he passes those yellow cones, he's under 50 miles an hour. And he's going to bring it down into the pits. So Toby Estes decides now's his time. Tommy Withers, will he come down into the pits? The Virginian stays out. Tommy Withers, new leader at Atlanta. And there's Gumlog Georgia's Ryan Pennell. He sits now in the second position while we wait for the pit stops to cycle through. All of the top four have yet to come down into the pits. There's Jacob Prince. He now sits in the fourth position after getting around Cody Riggs. And the double 9. Will he cycle around to the lead? There's Toby Estes in 10th. He now comes out of pit road having pitted 10 laps after Jacob Prince. 10 laps. We saw Jacob Prince making up about 1.5 seconds on Toby Estes, so you can surmise that by the time that all the magic has worn off of Jacob Prince's tires, Toby will be coming. And again, Jacob Prince must come down into the pits one more time. Toby Estes, he made it about 35 laps on that run. So the math tells you Toby Estes must also come down into the pits. And you just got to think to yourself, what is it going to take? One caution so far in 93 laps of racing. And after starting this season with a horrendous 16 cautions, you've got to say that the standard in Thursday Night Thunder is back to where it used to be. And this is the racing that we expect from these drivers. Doing a brilliant job so far. One yellow in what will now be 95 laps of racing. And of course, the curse of the commentator now means that there's going to be a horrendous crash, and we're going to be crash-filled for the rest of the race. But no, they've done brilliantly so far, all jokes aside. Now, new leader Ryan Pennell from Gumlog, Georgia, has Jacob Prince just swallowing up the time behind him. Prince will go to the inside. And Greenwood, South Carolina's Jacob Prince now becomes your new leader. The other course car, Justin Shoup, he sneaks into the third position there by way of pit stop cycles. But again, remember, they've now been on these tires for 15 laps. So now the question is for Toby Estes, who just came down pit road. He sits in 7th. And these guys, the guys that are really just putting the time standard. What I mean by that is the guys that are just running so much faster than everybody else has half the field a lap down. Racing Ricky talking about some great racing. Wade's in the Twitch chat cheering on those Bluegrass Bandits. Jacob Prince now in that double 9. He gives it a big tail whip out of turn number 2. And already he's got 2.5 seconds on Ryan Pennell. But again, Pennell has not yet pitted. Ryan Pennell looking to make his final stop of the race sooner rather than later, maybe gambling on that caution. And if it comes to a late race caution, Ryan Pennell is going to have to stay out and try and get track position. Not sure what the play is here, but I mean, again, he's just rolling the dice. It's one of those things where you just have to go for it. And shoot, if the caution comes out now, well, Ryan Pennell almost was the caution, shaking it out of turn number 2. But if the caution comes out now, Ryan Pennell looks like a genius. And Pennell's had enough. He says, I'm coming down into the pits. So now Ryan really wants the caution to come out. 1-2 car still on the lead lap for now. There's Jacob Prince in turn number 1, and Ryan Pennell is crossing his fingers and his toes that a caution happens. Nick Pressey, Seth Wansing, nose to tail out of turn number 2. Elridge George coming up behind them. George running in the 12th spot, 1 lap off the pace. These two fighting it out for 3rd. Almost 3 wide through turn number 3. 2 by 2, a couple rows deep. Toby Estes, part of this crew here. There he is in the 6th position now, coming up behind Elrich George. Three wide out of turn number 4. Toby Estes splits the middle, and a fearless Bluegrass Bandit in the Three Doors Town Chevrolet gets to the inside, and Toby Estes makes the move to complete lap 99 and get himself into 4th. He says, "Can't make way," and the 8 car going from 5th to 3rd in half a lap. Watch this. And I tell you, that is some brave racing from Toby Estes. Watch this move here to go between Elrich George and Nick Pressey. He's going to find the gap, and he's going to go for it. Going to get right up to Matt Kent. And he's going to give him just a little bit of room there. And Kent makes the decision to give Estes the space. Now Toby Estes, again, his tires 10 laps more fresh than that of Justin Shoup. And Estes going to take it on the outside on car 91. And the Bluegrass Bandit looking to become the 6th winner in 6 races this season. And over the last 5 laps, this has been the gap to this guy here, race leader Jacob Prince, and that's what those 10 laps will do for you. Toby Estes now coming around the outside with tires that are 10 laps more fresh. Now, Ryan Pennell pitted on lap 97. He went approximately 37 laps on that run. Now, I don't know if it was the tires. I don't know if he was just out of fuel. However, Ryan Pennell pitting on lap 97 means he can make it on fuel. If it goes green, Pennell may find himself the shock winner of this race. Here comes Jacob Prince. He's short pitting. He knows he has to come in one more time, and he decides this is his time. Matthew Kent will also come in as well. We are inside the final 20 laps of racing. Toby Estes, the race leader. Estes would need to go 43 laps to make it on this run. Does he do it? Does he now play the hand that the other two have dealt him? Estes, he's trying to come in, and he's coming in at a really high rate of speed. He gets it woed down to 50 miles an hour. Justin Shoup stays out. He's at 190 going into turn number 1. He becomes the new leader at Atlanta. Inside the final 30 laps. All right, so now the gauntlet's been thrown down. We're approaching the final 25, and the question is, what do you got? Jacob Prince running in 9th after coming down on lap 103, just getting the tires to finish this race. Josh Sutton asking, can anybody join these races? It is an invitation-only league, Josh, but Thursday Night Thunder does hold open tests throughout the season. If you're interested in joining TNT, you want to get on board to racearcs.com, or we do have a Discord server, Alliance Racing Championship, or ARCS for short, ARCS. Thursday Night Thunder, a proud partner of the ARCS Racing Network. Jacob Prince to the inside of Christian Withers in the Newport Dodge, who gives way. Brooklyn's Nick Pressey racing in first. He will give way and give the lap back to Jacob Prince. He's now in 8th on the lead lap, and Nick Pressey If he plans on staying out, it's going to be 53 laps to the finish, and I really don't believe he's going to be able to do that. So we'll see just when, not if, Nick Pressey decides to come on into the pits. Briley Wright is in second. And there goes Briley Wright. He's down into the pits. So Nick Pressey's going to stay out still. And we're in the final 25 laps of racing. Again, if you've just tuned in, you have not missed a thing. These race cars now coming down to a grandstand finish under the setting sun at the Atlanta Motor Speedway. 23 laps to go. Nick Pressey leading the race, everybody going by him. And at this point, you've got to imagine that Nick Pressey is on a losing fight right now. However, if the caution comes out, it's going to look like a genius move. So we'll absolutely be interested to see just where this goes. Pressey's coming in. He's going to get loose, and Nick Pressey saves it. But, man, that was pretty close for Nick Pressey. I'm glad that he was able to keep that in one piece. So Pressey comes down on into the pits. Tommy Withers from Virginia. 2 Virginians in tonight's race. Withers will now take over the top spot. So Withers in the race lead. Toby Estes sits behind him. It's a gap of 4.7 seconds. Remember, Estes last pitting on lap 104. Is he trying to make that his final pit stop? It's only going to be 29 laps to the end of the race. He can make that happen for himself. He came down the lap after Jacob Prince. No speeding penalties for car number 8. So now it's a race on speed. Who is faster than who? 3 seconds is the gap between them with 22 laps to go. Jacob Prince, the last time by, quicker than Toby Estes. So now you've got to ask yourself, does he have the grip to make it happen? I'm genuinely interested to find out where this one's going to go. 5 winners in 5 races. Jacob Prince wants to become the first repeat winner this season. Does Tommy Withers have the speed to stay out front for another 20 laps? Toby Estes says, not a chance. Last time around, Toby Estes was 1 second quicker than Tommy Withers, and Toby, his tires 20 laps more fresh. Estes leading this one. Matt Kent now coming to the inside of Thomas Andrews. That's going to be for the 4th position. So the Season 4 champion relegated down to 5th. Matt Kent up to the 4th position. Cody Riggs, he sits in 10th. Ryan Pennell sits in 9th. These two going to fight it out now inside the final 20 at Atlanta. And gum logs Ryan Pennell sitting in 9th. Tommy Withers still leading. Toby Estes just starting to eat up the time behind him. 2.3 seconds the gap back to Jacob Prince. Seth Wansing, Thomas Andrews side by side. Andrews hasn't pitted since lap 92. I don't think he can stretch it all the way to the end, but if a caution comes out, Andrews may have a lot of work to make up, but if a yellow comes out now, the fresh tires could gain a ton of positions by the end of this race. The yellow changes everything inside these final 18 laps. Tommy Withers on the outside. Toby Estes to the inside, and these two now fighting it out for the race lead. And Toby Estes makes extremely light work of Thomas Andrews. Have a look. Tommy Withers, I'm sorry. Thomas Andrews is in the 2. Withers is here in the 6. And that's the pass for the first position. So Toby Estes now becomes the new leader at Atlanta. 16 laps to go on the clock. Fans at home, if you love any of the paint schemes that you've seen today, you've got to check out the folks over at Drip Diecast and Collectibles. And I swear to God, if I had a nickel for every single time that I made a mistake with these overlays, I'd be rich. There are the upcoming events there. Arcs Extreme coming up on Monday. Those are going to be the late model stock cars on asphalt Monday night. That's going to be a hoot. That's going to be unbelievable. So be sure to check that out. And then next week, we're at Bristol, baby. The 7th round of TNT and the Gen 4 cars will be there. You're going to see paint schemes like this one here. You're going to see paint schemes like Mark Martin's 2000 Valvoline car. Everybody knows that one. How about Dale Jr.'s Budweiser baseball machine? He drove a few of those, and everybody knows about that Seth Wansing machine. Should we say Dale Jarrett, who made that number 88 Quality Care Ford Credit machine famous? A little bit of flair on that Caterpillar Pontiac as well. And the always recognizable Blue Deuce. Fans, get these diecast over at Drip Diecast and Collectibles. And check out our sponsor, if anything. You know, just check out what they've got. It's your #1 NASCAR memorabilia store on Facebook and eBay. Drip Diecast and Collectibles. Just support our sponsor and check them out. Tell them we said, hey, get a gift for yourself. Get a gift for somebody else. Get a gift for somebody you hate. I don't care. On ebook. Listen to me, I have no idea what I'm talking about. On Facebook and eBay, Drip Diecast and Collectibles. Go on and grab a piece of NASCAR memorabilia for yourself or somebody you love. Toby Estes with Jacob Prince closing the gap. Prince pitting on lap 103. Toby Estes pitting on lap 104. And there, Prince has slowly been reeling in Estes, but has Toby Estes been saving the tires? Possibly, that last time around. Jacob Prince, not quicker. Elrich George has gone around. George has crashed. No caution so far, just a one-car incident. Here come the leaders. Toby Estes leading Jacob Prince by 1 second. Looking at the time once more. Jacob Prince quicker by 0.2 of a second. The South Carolinian looking to become the first repeat winner in TNT. Six races will we finally have our first two-time winner. Estes watches the gap close. Here comes Jacob Prince. Justin Shoup, the other Coors car, sits in third. Over the last 5 laps, Seth Wansing has been consistently quicker for 3 of those laps. 1-0 to go next time by. On board with Toby Estes. Nine at the line. Half a second is the gap between them. Here comes Connor Cordes in the 4. He's up behind Briley Wright in the 2-9. This is the battle for the 7th position. Jacob Prince, who started in 17th, up 15 places from where he started, and a chance to fight Toby Estes for the race win. The Bluegrass Bandits looking to go for 2 wins in a row, and Toby Estes is the only one of the Bluegrass Bandits who has not won this season. 8 laps left. Here come the leaders. And that's what 3/10 looks like. Toby Estes, Jacob Prince. 2/10 the gap, and it's 7 to go at Atlanta. There are the points coming into this race. Reminder, Noah Belleville not in the roster. Justin Shoup poised to take the lead at the end of this one. Jacob Prince with a big shake out of turn number 2. Tom Sears, the lapped car, trying to give a little draft to the 999. And how does the saying go? It's one thing to catch him. It's another thing to pass him. Here comes Prince, right up behind that 8 car. And Prince has the grip on the inside. Does Estes play defense? Estes opens up the bottom line. Jacob Prince makes his car work down there. Prince with the grip through turn 2. Into turn 3, Estes holds on to the lead. Prince looking to get a great run off that 4th corner. Does he make it stick? He's got an excellent run off of turn number 4. Here comes Prince in the 999 with a big slide out of turn number 4, and he just can't make it. 4 laps to go next time. Prince is in the wall. Prince finally makes it stick on the inside, coming to 3 to go next time by. Estes, no defense with no grip on the outside, just 1 lap between them. Prince tries to sneak in front of the 8 car. He's not clear yet. Estes, he's going to have to plan a great run out of turn number 4, but Jacob Prince just has the juice. Justin Shoup now on the back end of that Coors sandwich, and new leader with 3 laps to go, Jacob Prince. Prince in the 999 leading. Toby Estes 3/10 behind him now. 3 miles remain when they cross the line. It's 99.891. Built-in Virginia's Justin Shoup. He aims for 2nd. Here comes Connor Cordes to the inside of Briley Wright, and the 40 of Elridge George now crowding behind them. Jacob Prince has the lead, but he's not home free. Toby Estes gets a little bit loose out of turn number 2. Justin Shoup coming up behind that 8 car. The 69 of Christian Withers, not a factor. 99.891 with the white flag in the air. Shoup wants to go to the outside. Here comes the Coors Chevrolet. He wants a piece of 2nd. 99 leading this race. Big time loose out of turn number 2. Toby Estes also giving it everything. Big time loose out of turn number 2. He may very well be the first 2-time winner this season. Jacob Prince in the 99 will come out of turn 4. He will win at Atlanta, and in the race for 2nd place it goes to Toby Estes. At the line, it went down to the 3rd digit, and they tied. Nope, 1/1000th of a second. There it is. Toby Estes beating Justin Shoup to the line by 1/1000th of a second. Jacob Prince, your winner. Estes in 2nd. Shoup in 3rd by .001. And your race winner, for the first time this season, a 2-time winner, South Carolina's Jacob Prince. Prince victorious at Atlanta. Fans, don't go anywhere. We're going to have top three in just a moment. On the podium with our top three, starting with tonight's bronze medalist, the Rockingham winner and pride of Bealton, Virginia, one Justin Shoup in the 91. And Shoup, Ricky watching on tonight, cheering you on, man, and you did him proud, a third place tonight.
Yeah, man. Like I say, majority of the race, we were just really trying to save our tires, and I saw quickly how fast we were able to catch the guys that we let go early. So I knew that was going to be the move moving forward, and then really from there it was figuring out if short pitting or stretching it was going to play out, and doing a little bit of both worked, getting us where we needed to be.
You're going to head into next week's race at Bristol with the points lead, and now you finally get a chance to stretch your legs on the short track at Bristol, man. So we'll see you in a week's time.
Yes, sir, man. Like I say, kind of a semi-home track there in Bristol, so we're looking to have a good showing.
Tonight's second place finisher, Toby Estes. Man, 1/1000th of a second to seal the silver medal tonight, man. That was a wild finish to the end. What more did you need to get around Jacob Prince?
I should have took 4 tires in the pits there at the end instead of 2. I don't know what I was thinking, but did the wrong strategy. Had to mix it up in the middle of the race, and yeah, unfortunately, just come up a little bit short.
Well, next week, one of your preferred tracks, I think, Bristol. You're also going to go into Bristol third in the points, man. No wins yet, but definitely looking like you're getting closer to that TNT championship. We'll see you in a week's time.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it.
The pride of Greenwood, South Carolina, scoring his second victory tonight. He's going to end up second in the points headed into next week's Bristol race. Jake Prince on the top again, baby. Congratulations.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Big points night, honestly. I had missed a couple weeks ago because I was in Daytona for the race, so that kind of put me in a hole. Needed a run like that. Last week did not go as planned. I just had all kind of problems and just wasn't a good week. But tonight was a lot of fun, a good battle there at the end. I wasn't sure if I was going to get them. I mean, the 8 was definitely the fastest in raw speed, but I felt like me and Justin was the fastest on the long run, and that's really what we were striving to do. So good showing for us, good points night, and we'll head into Bristol and try to do it again.
We'll see you at the world's fastest half mile in 7 days, man. Congratulations.
Appreciate it.
Fans at home, that puts a cap on tonight's festivities, and TNT just gets better and better each and every week. Thank you so much for coming out. Thank you so much for tuning in. We honestly can't do this without you, but we love racing, and this is what we love to do. So we're going to be back here in 7 nights. If you can't wait that long, though, and I can't, we'll be back on Monday with late model stock cars at Rockingham. Let me tell you that one again. Late model stock cars at Rockingham. The ARC's Extreme Asphalt Series will be here Monday night, 9:10 Eastern, right here on Rick James TV. And until that next race, everybody,